How's it going? Today I want to talk to you about assembling this bar stool chair. Now it's going to be a set of bar stool chairs. It has a lot of small bolts and then it has two longer bolts. There is a tool provided to tighten this down. I prefer to use a ratcheting tool for the majority of this. For step one, you're going to start with this left-hand side. You're going to have that laying down and you want pieces 9 to be attached to it. Now you're going to have the small bolts and all of the bolts are going to go in 80% of the way until the very last step when you tighten everything down. You want to have a little bit of play in these so that when you attach it, everything's a lot smoother. For step 2, there's a critical part with pieces 8. Now, whenever you put those in, you tighten them down, but you want to make sure that the little tab that comes out is oriented the same way as the tab that is out on the legs. The picture has a zoom in on it, and as long as those welds are kind of like in the same spot, you're going to have it correct. If you do put it up backwards, it's easy enough to switch around, but you do want to kind of like isolate that one part whenever you're putting pieces 8 on. For step 3, you're going to go ahead and grab the right-hand side and you're going to place it directly in the spot so that it matches up with the left-handed side. For step 4, you're going to put this main brace piece. This is going to be the solid wood that's wrapped in fabric. Now, one way to figure it out which way it needs to go is going to be this flap. So the flap is going to be towards the back, and the back legs are going to be longer. They're going to stand a little taller than the front, so you want to make sure that that flap is towards the back, and then you're just going to 80% of the way with the bolts on all of these. Step 5, we're going to get to these arms. Now, these are some nice wooden arms, and then you want to make sure that the arms are the correct way. So the back part where that flap is, you're going to have the parts with the holes on the arm. That's where those long bolts are going to go into. So you want to make sure that's oriented backwards. It is labeled left and right, so it's very easy to keep in place and not mix them up. Step 6, you're going to get that rod put in. So the rod is going to go through the hole for the fabric, and then you're going to anchor in one of the long bolts in. And whenever that's in place, you're going to move on to step 7. Step 7 is basically going to be getting that other arm on here, and you're going to go ahead and put the bolt in and then make sure everything's lined up and then get these other bolts. It's very satisfying because they have a recessed cutout so that this metal fits in nice and smooth. I did have to kind of like push a little bit to make sure that it's nice and in place before I went and tightened it that 80%. But overall, that's going to be the full frame assembly basically for the bar stool. Step 8, you're going to go back and start tightening everything. So I just started at the bottom. I made sure everything was nice and snug. And then I just started closing everything off one by one. Lastly, step 9, you're going to make sure the cushions are oriented correctly. Again, they're going to be a sticker that has a front and a red arrow going towards the front. You have a piece of fabric that you pull off so that this bottom one has a bit of Velcro to keep it in place. And then the top cushion, you just set it right in place and you are good to go. This is really simple to put together. It took me about 20-25 minutes using the Allen key. If you had a drill, it could go faster, but I stay away from drills just because these bolts aren't very big and you're not really tightening it too tight. So the hand tools did work well enough, and overall it's just a very elegant bar stool for our kitchen.